Okay, next day we got the front end up. We're going to be taking the...
Tires are good, yo.
F you, no, they're cracked as shit. Take a look inside the sipes here. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, okay.
The date on these things are 2001. So it's at 16 years. Yeah, we're gonna take these fronts off. The backs we did yesterday. We got a new master cylinder coming for this one. I figured out which type it was because this one has this weird shit here, and then the bleeder fitting is off a 70s Fairlane, I believe. Same thing as a Trino. So just in case you guys need to know. Yeah, we'll get the fronts off. We'll set you up. We'll get on it. Okay, the fronts are gonna be a little bit more specific than the rears. You can tell by the looseness this drum's not holding too well. You want a little bit of resistance, but you want the fronts to be matching because the fronts, if they're not, that's where you're gonna feel a pull. The rears, not so much. You can just kind of iffy it when you're adjusting it, but the fronts are gonna be more specific. So these ones, you have to take off the bearing center cap to get the drums off. You can tighten in the back, but I want to brake clean everything, do everything right. All right, step one, get this cover off. Yeah.
I can get started on the other end.
Yeah. Just steal these. One sec, let me film this. Cotter pin's out. This is the little wash. This thing kind of keys everything in there for the washer. It's just gonna wiggle out. Then underneath.
The color of the grease, yo.
It's new, eh? Mm-hmm. That's the adjustment nut. It's gonna feel kind of loose. Worry about it. So we're gonna spin this out. I'll show you how to adjust that later.
Oh, the bearings are nice and new in this.
Yep. So we're gonna have a washer that's gonna be keyed. I'll show you that here. The bearing's gonna come with it, but there's the washer. You can check the bearing. You'll look for blue marks or pitting. This one's brand new. Pull the drum off. It's gonna have a bearing on the inside and the seal. Well, fuck, if she wants to come out, god damn. Hooey.
That's brand new stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
But the drums, oh
Jesus.
They're cooked.
Yeah. So you can see the seal is brand new. The bearings in there, that's all new. So we're gonna do we're gonna check the wheel cylinders, and then we're gonna brake clean this, and we'll adjust it exact same thing we did last time. All right, so we got the parts coming. We're gonna need wheel cylinders. They have moisture in it. The lines are cracked. The lines got to come off with the wheel cylinders anyway. So we're gonna change the wheel cylinders. The lines, in the meantime, they're coming down from the parts store, so they're 2 hours out. We're gonna sand the brake pads, do that after. And the wasted time Olympics, they call it, we're gonna take the fender off because that's no good. So just rip it right off. Oh, look, we got bolts holding this. There you go, a naked car. That metal's pretty good, eh?
Yeah, it is. It's a good fender.
I'll, if I were you, I'd probably spray line this stuff with that rocker guard stuff or whatever.
That's what I'm gonna do right now.
And we'll, I'm probably gonna have to plug weld these. Ah! You know what? I'm not gonna try that. I'm gonna plug weld these holes because I don't like them there for the old molding.
This is a fender off of a
convertible. I was looking at convertibles actually, and they didn't have that.
Really?
Yeah, so I think it might be off like a different trim level. You know how these cars do it, right? So we're gonna plug weld the top, maybe do some body work and fitment, get the front end all square. But shit, I like how it looks, eh? Take off these liners and you can just work right in that bay. Anyways, we gotta get back to work here. Hey, talk to the camera.
There you go, man. We're gonna get her done.
Hey. Just a couple of brown guys working on American shit.
It's original, man.
Original my ass. This thing's so far from original.
You push this in.
Just, yeah, keep your finger on that pin, and then you're gonna twist this. You're gonna push down and twist.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Bingo. Remove your hand. So we undid the big spring, these little fucks right here. So we're gonna keep the left side on left. Where the on? Right's on right. Yeah, and that's all just to get the wheel cylinder off. We're still waiting on parts, so we're just spending time at the wasted time Olympics right now.
The other side came off so much easier.
I know, isn't it nice?
That's weird.
So we gotta pull off the e-brake cable, the hold down, and then just the shoe part because there's gonna be a nut behind there. Lift up on this guy, bro.
That's not right. Yeah, there we go. That's why all that shit.
Make sure you keep, come on, everything in order because once you put it back, you're gonna be like, oh, I don't know where it went. Alright, if you look closely, it's hard to see this nut, this big old inch and a quarter nut. I think it's the same thing as my CV axle on a Honda, it's a 32 mil. It's the only big socket I actually got. It's got these two stakes on it right here, so you gotta stick a flathead in here, folder, and then another one, folder, and then you can stick the big guy on there. Like that. Okay, so there's that big socket we were talking about. Now we're gonna give it. Thanks. There you go, and she loose. So we're gonna leave this hole connected. We're gonna keep the brake hose connected, and we're gonna undo it from up here on where the hard line meets that thing right there.
Sure.
So when we get the new ones, we'll assemble the soft line with the thing, and throw it all in, and then we could get to putting our master in because we still got to pick that up from a different parts place. Get the master in, and then we can get the lines, and yeah, we should be able to stop it tonight. Okay, parts came in. We got our Ford Fairlane master cylinder, wheel cylinders, brake lines. So these are the right ones, length of us.
Looks like.
One's. How are these the same part number?
I have no idea.
One's made in China, one's made in Guangdong.
America.
And we got. Where's the beer? There's the beer. That's got to go in there. So we'll get on that and we'll start working. So we're gonna tighten these guys on the bench first. We'll assemble this line. We'll change them all as one full unit. So this is how it should look when she all done. Minus the fact that we forgot the copper washer, so it's all gotta come. Oh, well, I'm doing the brake line again, and hopefully we could get our wrench back on this nut right here. But definitely wasn't thinking during that one. But well, we're doing the other side. I'll show you how we did that, and then we gotta go ahead and adjust these guys up. Brakes are all clean, but you can see it's brand new braking system in the front. Yeah. No name batter. That's what we're doing. So we're just putting the hose in the back, the copper washer on this side. Then we're gonna tighten that nut here. Off screen up here, he's tightening the line. And once that's all done, we got to go through the troublesome part of getting the shoes back on. I haven't been filming that because it's definitely a two-man mission. We'll try to let the camera just go on the tripod while we fight and swear with it and see what happens.
First, you gotta find a real comfortable spot to sit down.
That's exactly what I'm doing all the way back here.
That's going on, so. That's how you do it.
Yep, one-handed, right? This shit's fucked. I just want to make sure everything's all lined up. Fire in the hole.
Strike.
Well, we're worse than where we started. Jesus.
What do you say, Jesus?
Jesus. Oh man, you should see the intro I filmed on this shit. It was like Beaner voice and I'm sitting on it like, hey, I'm gonna show you how to fix my car, Holmes. Real talk.
That's how it works.
Where's the claw hand? Ah! There you go. And pro tip, squeeze it.
Tight.
Yeah, that'll do it. Somewhat. You didn't put the nut on.
Which nut?
To put the wheel cylinder on, it's all coming off again. Alright, so we got the brakes all together. Copper washers in. We did the adjuster here, so we counted the threads, 11 threads. We just did it till out of the drum's nice and tight. You want to pop that drum on real quick? So, we wanted to be snug. Give it a good spin like I was showing you. So, slight drag, we're going to adjust it from the back, but we counted the threads on this side, so 11 threads. We said, I don't know why there's so much. So, we're going to do 11 threads on this side. That's why it's so much equal, get it somewhat equal. Once it gets tight enough, we get the bearings all on there, bearings nice and tight. I'll show you how to adjust them because there's adjustment procedure on how to do that. And then we'll adjust from the back to get it perfect. That way we know the brakes on this car, brakes stop perfect. And I forgot, we still got to put the good old master in. It's going to be a long day. What's the time right now? 4 or 5? It's
like that.
it's gonna be a long day. I blame the parts run. So before that, I'll show you guys how to do the wheel bearing. So what I told him to do is we got the bearing, the washer, and the nut, and we're gonna tighten that as hard as it can because we want to make sure everything's all squeezed together. Good, right?
Yep.
Okay, now back it out like a full half turn. Spin the drum. Now keep your pliers on it actually. And what you're gonna do is spin it and then tighten. And then back, here, actually switch, I'll do this. We'll spin, tighten, spin. And what you wanna do, let's say it stops right here. And that's just like not tight, but just kind of like where it stops. A lot of guys will tighten it, that's too much. You'll ask another guy and they'll always tell you once you're here, always end with a loosen motion, but then I feel like you always get too much bearing play. What I like to do is just stop while you stop. So just right there. Okay, so here we are, we're on the drums. We got the rubber access hole taken out here, so the star wheel, that adjuster wheel's up in here. Fuck, notice how dirty my hands are, man. I'm black in these. So what we're gonna do is we got this side already done. We got the where we needed to tension-wise on it. So we're gonna do this one, and I want to make the tension on this drum exact same as that. So you want slight drag. It's hard to explain, but you do this a couple times, you'll feel it. So I'm gonna tighten this one. We're gonna match it up, and I'll show you the final result afterwards here. I hope you guys can see this. Give it a spin. A little bit tighter.
I think that's where you want to be.
Is that exact same as the other side?
Yeah. Maybe a little looser.
A little bit tighter, you mean?
A little bit looser.
Nah, too bad. Loose is too hard because then the thing's in the way, right?
Oh, really?
So that's close enough?
Yeah, it's close to
Okay,
this.
cool. There you go, nailed it. So we're gonna put the rubber plug in it. Can you give us a spin real quick? That's what you want to drag. I know I've heard from old schoolers that say keep the tire on. You want one rotation of the tire, but I've always seen that as way too tight. So about like a half turn on the drum, because when you put a tire on, the added leverage and weight and stuff like that just seems to rotate it a little bit more. But that seems good. We'll get the rubber plug on. We'll keep the tires off on, and we'll just quickly pop off the master cylinder. You've seen me do that before on that Chevy truck video, the 1977 I think it was Will It Run video. Check that out if you haven't seen that yet. But yeah, we'll just quickly fire this out real quick. So what I did, I filled the fluids up here. We're gonna cover both holes, the bottom one and the side one. He's gonna push, letting the pressure out, and then I'm gonna cover. So push. Okay, I'm gonna cover them, let off, and then push in. Close. One second, let me move my fucking camera. So what we're gonna do, we got it on the threads. We're gonna start the threads first on the lines. We got it on the studs on the booster. So once the lines are at least threaded, that we know the lines are all gonna match up and they're catching. That way you can tighten it down with the bolts. Tighten it down with the nuts. Once that's all good, we'll be good, and then we'll get started to bleeding all 4 of them. I gotta clean my hands. They're your hands looking like this. You might be an idiot. Nah. So got this shit all fired back together here. It's got a bleed fitting, so what we'll do is we'll pump the pedal there and we'll bleed out this fitting for a little bit. Then we'll bleed it conventional style. So still wondering why the hell you put money in this crap. Let's get this set up, see if she breaks. We still gotta bleed the brakes on the back, so we're gonna inch it forward so we can get to the back. So let's get it. You out of gas? Change it. Hit the brakes. Hey, turn on. Hey, they work. How are the brakes? when you have old Impala parts laying around.
Bling bling.
Good old bow tie on the Merc. That looks cool with a hubcap on it.
I don't know.
Over a Steely all day. That or a dog dish and a paint match Steelies. Alright, so that concludes this episode. Thanks for watching. More episodes of this thing coming soon. Hopefully it'll get it roadworthy. And yeah. Get the front end all back together, but yay! Thanks for watching. Bye.